What's up, y'all? It's Kaymon Foreman here, man. We got another episode of Deeper Than Stats, man. Got my dog with me from Dogg Academy, from New Orleans, from the G League. We went to G League, right?
Overseas.
Overseas. So overseas, graduated from UT Tyler.
Yes, sir.
So graduated from UT Tyler. Man of God, first and foremost, father, a husband. He doing it, man. Like, he's really the example of, like, what we should look at and what we should strive to become. And he set the standard for a lot of, men like myself. So it's like, I'm very thankful to have his presence here with us today. So we have Mr. Anderson. How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
God is good, man. God is good.
Yes, indeed, man. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, like your background, growing up, things like that.
Yes, sir. Growing up, born and raised Kenner, Louisiana, which is 5 minutes from New Orleans. Didn't play high school ball at all, man. Obviously, I didn't make the grades, behavior problems. Yeah, man, I didn't play no high school ball at all. After graduating from high school, I worked a couple of jobs, and then I decided at the age of 24, 25 to try out for Delgado Community College. Out of the 300 young men that was there, I was the oldest, but I found a way to make the team. And I didn't make the team on scholarship, was walked on, and so that just gave me that underdog mentality. Like, I always had to prove myself in whatever I did. So that's what, makes me unique and makes me different, to be honest.
I love that, man. So, like, growing up, and I tell people this too. Like, I don't want you to get in trouble, but
Facts.
some of the most successful people in the world, they had trouble issues.
Man,
like, they would get in trouble.
Yeah,
I used to get in
real.
trouble. A lot of
Yes,
people
sir.
don't believe it. But
Yeah.
it was a point where I come home every day, I'm getting a whooping.
Man, but my players to this day, man, they would ask me, Coach, have you ever been in a fight? I'm like, what? They'll be like, Coach, you so cool, you so relaxed. But I mean, it's plenty of things I had to endure to be a different version of myself, a better version of myself, and I hold myself to a higher standard. But yes, I did bump and fall bump my head on a couple of things. Yes, I have been in fights before. I did, but I just learned how to better myself, and it's always not altercation. You got to find a way to just keep striving and just keep being better.
I love it, man. So who was one of those influences in your life that kind of grabbed you and was like, hey, you have something special, or, you are special? Like, who was that influence in your life?
Well, truth be told, if I could be honest myself. So I'm laying on the couch at the age of 23, 24. And my mom and dad, great parents. They did the best they could for me. They always took care of me. And my dad, I'm not saying my dad was done with me, but my dad was like, he'll figure it out on his own. My mom told me, we didn't raise you like this. So you, in 3 months, you can either go to college or you can go get a job, but you have to do something. And if you don't do that, then I'm done with you. So once your mom said that, it kind of woke me up. But like, I always followed my own path. And that kind of got me in trouble too, because I always, I was hard-headed. And truth be told, that really helped me now, because I go in my own move and I follow my own steps in a better way, in a better light. And that has brought me to where I am now.
Man, I love that, man. So talk about growing up in New Orleans. Like, what's that vibe like for the people here in East Texas that's never been to New Orleans?
Dog eat dog world. No disrespect, but it's some type of hate, some type of crabs in the bucket. You got to find a way to just get out of that mentality to better yourself. It's gun violence, it's fist fights, it's arguments. Everywhere you go, you got to turn your head paranoid and nervous about just some crazy things. And in East Texas, man, it's crazy. You can go to sleep and leave your door open. I mean, so it's real different. And I thank God. I always tell people this: if it wasn't for me getting up and bettering myself and coming to Texas, I don't know if I'd still be here. I could have been in jail. I could have been dead. Could have been doing everything but the right thing. But God spared my life and moved me here and just trying to do better.
That's powerful, man. So let's talk about the transition to East Texas. Like, a lot of people get that culture shock whenever they come here, especially if you're from like a bigger city, different state, different country. Mm-hmm. What was that like, that transition to East Texas?
I mean, for me, it was different. It was quiet. Man, I just knew once I got to UT Tyler, man, I felt like this was my last straw. I had to, it's either do or die. You either gonna make something out yourself or go back to New Orleans and just be another statistic. And I had four professors that really pushed me to better myself. And I don't think I would have graduated if it wasn't for them. They would really push me and tell me, Dyron, don't take this the wrong way. You're from New Orleans and you're all about, you're thinking about basketball. You need to think about life after basketball. And that straight up motivated me because I never had anybody just tell me that. Like out of all of my teachers, my professors, like, Dyron, we care about you. You have a chance to make something great of yourself. So basketball is good, but your education in the way you handle yourself and the way you present yourself is going to take you a long way. And I took that to heart.
Man, that's special.
So if I would mess up, they would, I had professors, man, that would treat me like their sons, man. If I missed class, they'll call me. If I fell asleep in class, they'll talk to me. And what really took me further in life was yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Even if I agree with them or not, I was always respectful. And to this day, I could call each and every one of my professors, and they're going to be there.
That respect take you a long ways, man. So you came here, and it was peace and quiet, and you went to UT Tyler. What was that transition like? You said you started a little later than normal college students right out of high school. What was that like as far as like dedication? Was it hard to get back into the groove of things, of school and all of that?
So for me, anytime I stop doing something, is hard as hell for me to get back into it. That's what people don't know. That's what people don't understand. If I stop training, it's tough for me to get back into it. If I stop going to church, it's tough for me to get back into it. What I learned is God has ordered my steps in different ways. And I feel like God gives some of his toughest people the hardest tasks. And for me, I just knew I just wanted to better myself. So it's like, Dyron, how do you get yourself out of the hole? Underdog mentality. What you have to lose, man. So if you go back home, end up a statistic, or stay here 7 hours away from home and do something many people don't do, which is survive. And so I always took this memo, rabbit in the jungle, seriously. If you see a rabbit in the jungle, come on, man. As soon as we see that rabbit go in the jungle, you're going to be like, he's dead. He's dead. There's no way he's making out of it. Everything is in that the jungle. And I love that aspect. I love looking at things like that. Okay, I'm a rabbit. You got tigers, lions, wolves, anything ready to eat me. What you going to do, Dyron? You going to quit? Can't do that. A lot of people quit. So, yeah, I just learned to take that inside motivation and just better myself.
I love that, man. And let's talk about like what you was actually studying whenever you was in school, and I would like to know why you even chose UT Tyler.
So leaving Delgado, I went to Belhaven University in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
And I was studying sports management. I played ball there for 2 years, and then I had a real good game versus UT Tyler, and one of the coaches at UT Tyler reached out to me, and we just, I felt like that would have been a better fit than being at Belhaven. I was 2 hours away from home. I could drive home at any time. Come to UT Tyler, man, 7 hours, man, I'm not getting on that road to drive back. So either once again, I'm a do or die. And the coaches, they believed in me at that time. And at that time, I was a 26-year-old senior. So most of my credits didn't transfer. So I was a 26-year-old senior on the court, but I was a sophomore in the classroom.
Dang.
So I got to be honest with you, man. Most of my family, if not all of my family, was like, you too old. You might as well just come home and get a job. Guess what, man? I took that personal, and I took that as motivation. And I'm not saying they didn't believe in me. I'm not saying that, but they just was looking out for me in their way, and I had to look out for myself in a different way. God was telling me to do something else, man. Did I want to come home? Yeah. Did I want to go home? Absolutely. But something else told me I had to fight for a bigger purpose.
That's dope, man. That you really said something powerful. Like, the loved ones, they may want to look out for you in the way that they know how, but God may be looking out and telling you something totally different than what your loved ones who have great intentions for you are telling you. And so that's why just having that intuition with the spirit and intuition with yourself and that confidence with yourself and not saying you make the right move every single time, but just having the courage to go with it and stick with it, and then be able to be aware of when to adjust and make them reroute.
Absolutely, and that's truly tough because I'm always second guessing myself, man. People don't know that about me, man. I make a decision, then I go right back and be like, hey, man, did I? Nah. My wife is with me all the time, so she know that. But like I said, once again, other people don't see that. They just see, Coach Anderson, aka Black, professional basketball player, life-changing mentor, entrepreneur. He has it all made. No, man, it's been a lot of crying nights. It's been a lot of dedication to the Bible. Right now, I keep reading the book of Proverbs over and over and over, and that's the book of wisdom. And I used to find myself getting guilty because I used to read that over and over. But something in Proverbs that I'm reading each and every day helps me, man. It just keeps me pushing. If I open up the book of the Bible or something else, man, I can't lie to you, man. I probably fall asleep. But see, Proverbs get my attention. And most of my friends, they look at me for guidance, and when they're going through tough things, man, they'll say, man, Black, you always say the Bible. And I'm like, because I don't have the answers, God has all the answers, man. And it took me a while to understand that, because at first I thought it was me. It's not me, man. It's what God is doing inside of me to make me a better person, so I could, pour into my family, and then I could pour into my players and other people that's around me.
Man, I love it, man. Let's transition into the family, man. So you met your wife in Tyler.
Yes,
so
sir.
She's from Tyler?
Yes, sir.
So you got an East Texas woman.
Yes,
like,
sir. Yes,
what
sir.
makes East Texas women special?
I mean,
The woman you have.
yeah. My I call her superwoman, man. She's the smartest, the most beautiful woman I ever met in my life. She pushes me ways and in places I never thought she would push me. She's hard on me, but she's hard on me for a reason. She always motivate me. Truth be told, man, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her. When I got hurt overseas, man, I mean, as I was preparing to go overseas, man, she would get my ice bath. And when I was tight, I'm 32 trying to get overseas, she never said, you too old. She never said stop doing it. She told me to keep pushing. And when I doubted myself, she was always there. She's like I said, once again, the business doesn't go. Dog Pound Academy would not be Dog Pound Academy if it wasn't for her. She does all the flyers, the scheduling, everything. She comes up with pricing, and she's great at what she do. She's also the most amazing teacher. She's a math teacher, the greatest one, and she's smart. And I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for her.
That's so dope, man.
Yeah,
so dope to have that partner that believes and actually works the vision. Having that faith in you, but working it, that's something special.
Yeah, every time I was down, man. Every time I was
special.
down, she would, man, recently, not a liar, recently, man, I was down on myself, man. She walk in the room. Hey, what you got to do? We don't got time for you to be down. You our Batman. We need you moving. And truthfully, I need that from her. Yeah, once again, to everybody else, it looks like I have it all together, but she really see it, man. She's seen the tears. She's seen the late night workouts. She's seen me grinding without receiving any payments. She has always been there. And I mean, when I feel like I'm not doing what I need to do in my business, or if I'm slacking, she's always the one to pick me up. So
I love it, man.
I thank God for her, seriously.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And so y'all have a kid.
Oh yeah.
Talk about fatherhood.
Yeah.
Like, what was that transition like?
Man, I prayed to God for my wife and my son. And I specifically asked God for a certain wife, and I asked God for my beautiful son. He is everything. Ezrin Akeem Anderson, that's his full name, God's gift. And he has truly helped me become a better individual, a better man each and every day. Each and every day when I wake up, so I stay home with him. The wife goes to work, and then I work when she gets off. And I thank God for that, because I was looking for a regular 9 to 5. I was looking for that to get a second income coming in the house. And God said, wait, you right where I want you to be. And me just spending time with him each and every day, man, it just makes me better. He's looking up to me, right? If I go down a path of destruction, I'm leading him down a path of destruction. And God is going to hold me accountable for that in my home. So I'm, including with my wife, I just find ways to keep pushing, because there's no way I'm giving up on them, and there's no way I'm giving up on myself. but him and her is the ultimate motivation, man. It just takes you to a whole different level.
You know, I had heard that too, like from several different parents, how it was like, man, when they had kids and a spouse, it just took their game or their mentality or their hustle to a whole nother level.
Yeah,
and so I'm definitely looking forward, to that. So I salute you, for being successful at that. And I wish y'all the best, going forward. And so let's talk more about going overseas, man. Coming from East Texas, a lot of people don't get that opportunity to go travel.
Right.
But you not only traveled, but you did something in another country that you really love to do.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people growing up love to play ball as well. So talk about how all of that came together and how fulfilling it may have been.
So I tried out for the PBA at the age of 32. I tried out for the PBA, which is the pre-league, which is in Dallas, Arlington, the Dallas area. And I was first team selection there. I tried out, again, man, we had 400 young men in the gym. And my coach told everyone the reason why they selected me as one of the top players, if not the top player, to make the team is the way I handle myself as a professional. I walked in the gym, I introduced myself, I went and stretched. All the young boys just shooting and they're ready to go. I'm 32, man. I got to stretch. So I stretched for about 15, 30 minutes, right? And they just kept looking at me. And truth be told, man, I wasn't in no shape, man. Once again, underdog mentality, rabbit in the jungle. What I have to lose? What I have to lose? All they could tell me is no. I went out there and I outplayed most everyone, and I made the team. Better late than never. That was the name of the team. Owner gave me a chance. I made first team selection. I was overseas, and I went and played. Well, once I got done with the PBA, I only played for about 2 months, and then Dominican Republic called me to come over there and play in a tournament.
You was in the DR?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going there, man. Truth be told, out of 12 guys on the roster, I promise you I was the 10th guy on the roster. And no disrespect towards no one, but I outplayed all the guards on the roster to the best of my ability. All respect to them. But I had nothing to lose. So when I have nothing to lose, man, that just takes my confidence to a whole different level. And I made second team off the bench, second team all tournament. Came home, went back to training and getting myself back together. Then I received a full contract to the country of Armenia. So when I went to Armenia, man,
is that like in Europe or where is that?
It's right there by Spain. Around Georgia in Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So got there, man. Took a year off before I got there, but I kept pushing. Got there, first quarter of the first game, man. I tore my patella, my patella tendon. Tore it first quarter, man. I kept playing. That game I finished with 29-11. Went to the doctor right after that game with my teammate, my other American teammate, Kenny. And the doctor said, yeah, man, you sprained 3 different things. You tore your patella tendon, but then you sprained your MCL and ACL. Man, truth be told, man, it's nothing but God, man. I played through the pain. Nobody knew except my wife. She knew that. She knew I was hurt. Had an average of 30.7 rebounds and 7 assists.
You going crazy.
Yeah, man. And truth be told, man, I wasn't even I promise I wasn't even in my zone, man. I just was trying to make it through. I promise, man. Some of those shots that went in, man, I don't know how they went in, man. I just clicked in a different mode because I told this to my parents, all of the parents of Dogg Academy. I said, if I don't average or if I don't do what I say I'm going to do overseas, y'all shouldn't train with me. I took that very personal. So all of my kids, all of my parents watch me play. And, at the age of 32, 33, I did what I had to do. Came home, had trials. Before surgery, man, I had trials with the Dallas Mavs, their G League team, and the New Orleans Pelicans. I received a phone call from them. Their lower office, no one, not the head coach or anything, but they looking at me being 32 years old, averaging 30 points. Had a shot, man, and something I struggle with now at the age of 35. My body's being tested. My mental is being tested. 2024 was a tough year for me. I did physical therapy 7 days a week to get back. And now I'm pushing to go back and play, man. And truth be told, I know how that's going to happen, but I'm going to have to push myself to the limit. But beyond my limits, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to just really have to push myself this time to get back over there. I believe I could do it. And that comes from a underdog mentality.
I love that because, like, when you say the underdog, like that mentality, I feel like we're definitely speaking about sports, but you can take that sports mentality and you can apply it to everyday life, especially people in their own life, in their own path, because a lot of people do feel like they're the underdog in their own life, and they may be. And there's nothing wrong being the underdog because, like you said, you have nothing to lose.
Right.
So it's really, at the end of the day, your mentality, when you look yourself in the mirror, what do you want? What do you want to pull out, from yourself?
Right.
To give to the world. And so I think, you not only represent the underdogs in sports, but underdogs in life.
And what people don't understand with that, man, when you're the underdog and no one's looking for you to do anything great, man, you got to pick yourself up out of some dark places, man. No, nobody's coming to my door, hey, man, we got to go train. No one's calling, hey, man, how your knee doing? Nah, man. I got phone calls saying you should give it up. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. No one's around when you're crying, man, because as a professional athlete, everyone says this, that hasn't played professional ball. They're looking from the outside on in. Oh, man, you'll be fine, man. You just hang up basketball and do this, that. Basketball saved my life, man. For me. If it wasn't for basketball, I don't know if I'd be alive. That's the truth. Basketball God and basketball. That's the truth. And once again, some people don't realize that. You played on a high level. When you hear all these opinions, man, they don't know though, man. They don't know. I'm telling you, man, they don't know, man. Man, I played high school. I played intramurals. Man, no, this is a total different ball game. For me to even play professional ball, from I'm the first guy in my family to play professional ball, And once again, no disrespect, man. I had to find a way to pull myself out of dark places by myself. God, me and my wife, dead serious. My friends, I have some great friends, man. My circle is knit tight, but I have some great friends and some great mentors that kept pushing me, man. But immediate family and things like that, they just, no one never really thought I could do it until they saw me on that TV, man. And I made some believers out of everyone, man. And that's what I do to all my players. I make them believers, man. That's why I love training underdogs. I don't want to train no one that's going Division I or Division II right now. I want to train people that's counted out. And that's my motivation. And that's why I get up each and every day.
That's a special niche too, man, because I feel like America, they love an underdog story.
Yeah.
Americans, so it's just like it just makes the story better when you have to go through that type of adversity when you're counted out.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like the people that's not counted out don't go through adversity, but it's just when you're watching a movie, you want to see like what issues are they having, what challenges is at stake, and like how are they about to overcome this. And you want to follow their journey. People want to follow their journey.
My favorite movie is Creed 3.
Creed go hard.
And yeah. But you seen
Creed
how he you seen on the third one, right? When the guy he looked Damon as he looked to him as his big brother, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing I struggle with, man, I have a lot of older guys and they look at me as the little brother sometimes. And I had to get that out of my head. I'm like, this not Creed. So they're not looking at me like, they're not looking at me like Dyron, the little boy. They're just trying to help me. But I took what they did in Creed, Donnie, he looked at him as he was his big brother. And the big brother never he never felt like Donnie was better than him, man. He never felt like he was better than him. And at the end of the day, he used him. The big brother used the little brother. Yeah, man. And that movie really touched me because it taught me things, man. I have done things in my past that I'm not, proud of, And Donnie kept holding on to that hurt. And what I learned, man, you got to forgive yourself from hurt, man. You don't owe nobody anything, man. We all work hard, For those, not we all, but most of us work hard. But for those that's looking for handouts, that's on them.
Right.
Your success is not anybody else's success, man.
Right.
If I make it to the NBA, man, and get a, great contract, man, I don't owe anyone anything. Now, do I believe you should take care of the people that's always been there for you? Yes, but you don't owe nobody anything, man. So I learned a lot from that movie, man.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
So let's get into the Dogg Academy, man.
Yeah, man.
I think it's much needed.
Dog Pound, yeah, man.
Yeah, Dogg Pound Academy. That's much needed out in East Texas. Any type of skill development is needed in East Texas because you have so many just raw athletes, just raw talent. But you as you know, as a professional athlete, you had to have the skill development behind it. So, like, what was the whole mission, the whole purpose, that whole day where it was like, oh, I need to do this?
Man, so I started doing COVID. Man. Hey, guess how much I was charging for one-on-one sessions? $5 to $10.
Wow.
Didn't know what I was going to eat at night. Didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. All I felt was like, I got to help these kids, and God is going to provide. Dead serious, man.
Why the $5 to $10 instead of the free?
Truth be told, I felt like that $5, $10 at least got me something to eat for the day.
Real talk, though. I feel you.
Yeah. So I started with that. And then after that, truth be told, man, I didn't start charging what I felt like I was worth till I went overseas. I had a special parent come up to me and say, Coach Anderson, for what you do for these kids and what you do for some adults, people will pay you a certain amount for your special talent. Man, I ain't lying to you, man. I thought he was lying to me. I promise. I wasn't trying to hear nothing he was saying, man. And come to find out to this day, man, he was right. But I knew, me personally, and some parents, some kids don't know this, but me personally, man, I felt like I had to prove more in order for me to ask for more. That's the truth. You know, so when I went overseas at the age that I was and I came back, I felt like I deserved. I felt like before I left, I felt like I left some money on the table, you know.
Be like that.
So I felt like this time when I come back and do it, man, it gotta be worth something. And I'm not doing it just for the money, but I have to make sure
you got a family too.
Yeah. That's what
your time.
Yeah.
That's your time. And people the real ones would feel that, man. It's like, even with the videos and the photos, like, it's some passion projects that where I'll just go out there and shoot for free, and that. But at the end of the day, like, I gotta have something that motivates me to either stay up late or to keep my attention or to give my all to it. Like, I have to have some type of reward for that, some type of incentive. And I just feel like, whether it's promotion or brand awareness or the money financially, like, I gotta have something that motivates me.
Yeah, and I think with your quality of work, it speaks for itself. You don't, I tell others because they, young men come ask me about training and what they can do to get better. And I'm just like, you got to just keep getting better. You got to do this, got to do that. You got to stay up at night. The quality of quantity. That's how I feel. And I do believe I am the best in anything I do. And that's something I had to realize for myself, man. My confidence has nothing to do with somebody else think. Oh, he's cocky. No, I'm not cocky. I just know what I'm worth.
Right.
And I just have confidence in myself. If you come ask me to train, hey, coach, who is the best around here? Dyron Anderson is the best. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. And I put in the work for this. I've been training for 6 years. And it's only by the grace of God we still going.
Man, I love that too.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that, I don't see a way, a way to, how you say that? A way to really gauge how humble somebody is.
Mm-hmm.
But, a lot of times, how people be like, oh, he's arrogant or she's arrogant. But it's just at the end of the day, you have to have a big ego in order to, really succeed at a high level at anything.
I get that.
I'm not saying, being super egotistical, but you have to have some type of big ego.
Yeah.
You have to feel like you're the one. You have to feel like nobody's better than you. Yeah. You have to feel like you can go out there and achieve.
And I used to feel bad about that because I'm very high on myself, man. I'm very confident, and man, you always say, man, I'm the best. I'm sorry, man. I don't. What you want me to say? If you want me to train your child, and I say, hey, go somewhere else, I'm not very confident in myself,
Yeah.
And so,
or you don't want to deal with that client.
Absolutely. see that too. And man, I reached a point to where if the player don't, and it's only by the grace of God I reached this point. If a player don't put in the effort, or if a player have an attitude every time I meet with them, I won't train them, man. It's not even about the money anymore. I won't train them. I feel like I'm doing them a disjustice. I feel like I got to hold my players to a certain standard, and if they don't meet that standard, then we don't need to be here. And I love each and every one of my players, man. It's nothing personal. And truth be told, out of 400 kids, man, I have found a different something in one of those, in each and every one of those kids that remind me of me. Dead serious. Attitude remind me of me. The laziness used to remind me of me. The not being confident used to remind me of me. The overconfident reminded of me. Like we speak of KK. She truly reminds me of me. She's gonna find a way. I think she's finding her way right now. She's going through her times, but she's gonna be great. I really think she's gonna turn this area with women's basketball into a whole different thing.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
my other players too, as well, not just singling her out. You know, Marley Keith, the young lady from Lindale, is I look up to her. Now she's humble, man. She is so humble, man. She won't say nothing. She won't trash talk anything, but she go bust your head on the court.
Real talk.
And all of my, I got some guys, some great guys in Bullard. One of my baby brother, man, BJ Davis. He played at UT Tyler. He's playing at Southern Arkansas now.
Okay.
And,
Rider.
Yeah. And, man, truth be told, man, I was the hardest on him. You know, my first cousin, he moved all the way from Tennessee, and me and him trained for 2 years. No scholarship, no nothing. He just grabbed all his stuff and moved down here to Tyler, Texas. And we trained for 2 years, man. And I was by far the hardest on him.
It paid off.
Yes,
Or it's
man.
paying off.
Yes, man. He calls me each and every day, and he asks me for my opinion. But I tell him my opinion doesn't always mean everything. You have to go with your move. And you know something that I learned from him, he would tell me, Black, you need to stop second-guessing yourself. Go with your move. And most of my other players tell me that. Coach, you're great. Coach, one of my players said, Coach, you go play for the Detroit Pistons right now. And I thought he was pulling my leg. But I see how much confidence they have in me. And that truly motivates me, man, for them to have the confidence in me. And once again, it's only by the grace of God.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
It's like you said something special. Like you can see yourself in the youth, and it's like that inspires you. That brings more self-awareness to you as well. And the more aware you are of yourself, the better you're gonna be when you are making those decisions and all of that different type of things like that. That KK right there.
Oh, man.
Put on the phone. Yeah. Nah, you good.
Yo. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I just was talking. I'm here. I'm going to let him talk to you.
Yo, what's up, KK? It's Kaymon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Man, I'm doing well. We sitting here. We got the podcast going. We actually just mentioned your name in the podcast, and then you called like a few moments afterwards. That's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you're having a great Sunday, and I look forward to seeing y'all play soon.
You too.
Yes, indeed. Let's get it.
All right, player. I'll call you back.
So, let's talk about like overseas, man. There's always some type of adversity overseas as well, especially being not just an American, but Black American, like male at that.
Yeah.
Like, what were some things that you had to overcome over there overseas?
Oh man, they don't speak no English.
That's always a barrier.
Yeah, you got to pull out your phone, Google Translate.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what really saved me, man. I just played some great basketball. That's what really saved me, man.
Man,
and
that's crazy.
I really held myself as a great professional, man. The hardest thing is being away from family. I kind of felt like I was back in New Orleans. Because it's like you overseas, it's like you always gotta watch yourself, man. You gotta watch yourself over there. You gotta watch the company you keep. You gotta watch what you're looking at, and keep walking straight. And if you look too long if you see something unfamiliar, right? I see that's a chicken running across the street, man, and you just staring so long, they make it seem like it's a problem, man. And they stare at you like that overseas. You walk past, they just stand at you. And truth be told, they didn't. Not a lot of Black men. Black professional basketball players was over there, It was probably 4 of us, It was on two on one team and 2 on the other team.
Because those are the rules, right, of the leagues?
Yeah.
Like overseas where you can only have a certain amount of Americans.
Absolutely.
I know that's how it is like in football, too, overseas.
And they really, something that's really great, they really look up to us in sports. They may not say it, but they do, So when I went over there, man, I got the ball the most I ever got in my life. Every time we're going down, and every time, every game, like, man, we going to D. I'm talking about every play, and I'm like, man, I need an asthma pump or something. But that it helps you grow as a person, man, because you're looking at different type of people, that's really not your skin color or speak your language, and you get to know some great things about people, man. You can't judge a book by its cover. You got to just sometimes just be quiet and just let people talk and just listen.
No, for real, man. That's crazy because, like, I went to Mexico recently for New Year's, and kid you not, as soon as I touched down, so much adversity. Didn't have no service, so I thought I was going to be able to book an Uber. So that was one thing. Yeah. I'm sitting at the airport for like 2 hours. I ended up getting a taxi. I get the taxi. I go to the Airbnb. Once I get to the Airbnb, I had a taxi driver record me getting out just to get some content. Yeah. Got to the Airbnb for about an hour or so. I'm reaching in my pants. I'm like, where my wallet at? Where my wallet at? I'm going up and down to the room, everywhere. I'm like, bro, I left that wallet in that taxi.
Man.
Left it in the taxi. So it's a thing in Mexico where Ubers and taxis, they don't really like each other.
Damn.
And so I didn't have a way to get a taxi. I had to put a different address in the Uber because they wouldn't have taken me to the airport. Yeah. So I put a different address in. And I kid you not, man, I got in the car. It was a young Mexican lady. She spoke a little English. And so I was like, man, I know I did this, but I got to go to the airport. I left my wallet in the taxi. Right. So she was like, no, we can't go. You know, I'm an Uber, da. And I'm like, man, well, I understand, but I ain't got nothing. Like, I ain't even ate or nothing. I ain't got no car, no ID, nothing, no cash. So we get to the airport. She decided to take me, get to the airport. Soon as we pull up where the taxis were, I seen this one guy with 12 others around him. He was just passing out $20 bills.
Man, don't tell me. Hey, man, hold on, man. Don't tell me. Man,
hey, he passing out $20 bills. And my mom like, bro, he passing out my bread. Like, I'm hurt too. I'm like, man, ain't no way that's mine. Because it was the exact same spot. And so then the Uber driver, she was like, all right, now you have to get out. And I'm like, nah, I can't get out. Because if I would have got out the car and my wallet wasn't there, I wasn't have no way to get back to the Airbnb.
Yeah, you thinking though. You thinking.
Yeah, I'm on the fly. Like, I'm like, I can't get out, man.
Anybody else mad, they just going with
whatever
whatever move.
Nah, I was like, I can't get out the car. So she's steady telling me to get out. I'm begging her too. I'm like, man, please, like, I need you to translate for me. So we ended up calling one of the taxi drivers over. And you know what saved me, bro? That video that taxi driver did of me when I got out at the Airbnb. You know why? Because that license plate.
Right,
we was able to see the license plate and the taxi number on the car.
Yeah.
And so we was able to identify who it was. So we ended up calling, and he was just right around the corner at another terminal. And so we ended up going to get the wallet, and it had everything in there.
That's what's up, man.
That was a blessing.
Yeah,
it was a blessing. And so that story, I say that because, you know, that young lady, that Uber driver, she saved the day. And, like, a lot of your help may come from strangers, especially in foreign countries like that. Like,
but you know what? You know why she did that, right? Because the way you handled yourself, you're very respectful. You know, you didn't. You know, anybody else, man, probably would have lost it. And what I learned, man, a big lesson of mine, man, is no matter how mad you get, or no matter what's going on, you got to always keep your composure. Because once you lose it one time, that's it. It's hard to get it back, man. It's hard to get your reputation back, man. So that's something I learned. Was that a hard lesson being from New Orleans, Louisiana? Yes. Because where I'm from, it's like, if we got a problem, right, we just going outside. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So taming the dog is what you're doing.
Yes, man. And it's like in order to take steps that you need, man, you got to keep your composure, man. You got to keep your attitude. See that hot-headedness, man? That don't get you nowhere, man. It's like we may think we scaring somebody or this or that, like, truth be told, man, nothing is going to happen to you. I mean, it's by the grace of God. It's not you, like, nobody's going to test me. No, man, it's not that. It's God saying, okay, yeah, let me tell him to leave him alone. It's not you. But, yeah, like I'm saying, the hot-headedness, that's something I had to beat, man. Dead serious, man. That's something I had to beat in my early 20s, man. I snapped just like this. Man, that didn't get me too far. So...
It be like that though, man. Well, man, I greatly appreciate you pulling up, man.
Thank
for
you,
real,
man.
for real. Let's do this more, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
Greatly
yes,
appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.